What's up, witches? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Luna, and I'm here to do a patron unboxing today. And that sounds weird. I'm not unboxing a patron. I'm unboxing the deck that my patrons have bought for me this month. And it arrived on my doorstep like 20 minutes ago, and I have been waiting for this. It just was released in November. So it's brand new. Journey of a Lonely Soul Oracle Cards. And it is Lo Scarabeo. Nice silvery lettering by Anna Majboroda, Majboroda, Majboroda. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. And Charles Harrington, that one's easy. And we have Savor, a bittersweet melodic journey. Oh, these words. Savor, a bittersweet melodic journey. I can't wait to see what that means. Through the woods and the back roads of the soul, and explore the dark side of the spirit. Excellent deck for the dark part of the year, which is when I'm shooting this. We have the standard two-part sturdy box from Lo Scarabeo, and we have the book, which, let's see, how much is English? So the first, I like it when they put a page, you know, a color page in between the different languages to make it easy. So up until page 51, that's where the English part ends. So a good enough section for meanings. It seems to have, we have Welcome to the Journey, How to Use This Deck, Inward Initiation. So it seems to have a good section for each card. Let's read the welcome. Hold on. We're putting out decorations, so we've gotten out things from last year, and there's a lot of dust in the air. At the moment of our birth, we are cast adrift, all alone in an absurd world in which we must find our way. Though we will encounter many fellow travelers along our path, each of us is a single star with its own destiny to discover. Some are uneasy with the truth of this solitary journey and seek to cling tightly to others in order to ease their discomfort. Others embrace the path of solitude, wandering on an eternal pilgrimage that is uniquely suited to what their spirit is seeking. These lonely souls will travel where they feel called, absorbing the wisdom from countless schools of thought and sacred traditions. Each lesson is absorbed, and through a special and secret alchemy, its knowledge will transform the seeker, and with it they will in turn transform the world. This is wonderful writing. It is concise, clear. There's a lot of poetry and imagery in it. If you are such a questing soul, seeking to make your own way in this life, discovering every hidden part of yourself, and bringing it forth into the light, then this deck is for you. It's a very good description of Plutonian type people. So I want to see who did the writing and who did the artwork. The artwork is Anna Majboroda, and texts by Charles Harrington. Okay, and yes, oh, it printed in July 2022. I got it on Amazon as usual, and they only had it as of November, so let's take a look. Okay, we have a little ribbon pull, and it's only 32 cards. Where did I see that? Yeah, book and 32 oracle cards. So it's a very small deck, and there's nothing wrong with that. Here are the backs. Here is the back. So you have kind of this, it almost looks like a book cover. Or is that a window? Is that a picture? Is that a mirror? Who knows? All right. So the art style here, right off the rip, we're talking about lonely souls. Look at the color palette. It's deep, it's dark, it's gray, and it's exquisitely beautiful. Look at her face. All right, this one is called Inward Initiation. Wow. I mean, I get it. I get that phrase instantly. It's the Plutonian journey. Look at the hair. I mean, the artwork is gorgeous. I'm in love with it already. 2 is the cave with no windows. This is also Neptunian people. Persephone rising. Oh, look at that. Look at the misty. This is where I live, y'all. 4 is Dreamtime Odyssey. Interesting spelling of Odyssey. That's not how you spell Odyssey, is it? I thought it was O-D-Y-S-S-E-Y. Okay. Dreamtime Odyssey, but look how gorgeous. Misted Promenade. Now, I once upon a time, ages ago, like more than a decade ago, I got this program called My Mind Movies, and they were teaching you how to like edit together movies, and I wanted to do ones for each of the planets. And looking for images for Neptune, it would be these kind of images with this sort of misty, foggy, absolutely. Rhapsody in Shadows. And I'm lifting this up because, as you can see, they are glossy. And so I'm getting a little bit of a glare, and I want to really look at the image. The body types, we have very clear, upper body, head, shoulders, arms, but when you get to the lower body, things just kind of fade. Wow. Edge of the Eternal. Gardens of Bones. Yeah, look at this. We see arms and the neck and head, and then the body just disappears in these. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. This looks almost like the city I grew up in, Akron. Like a leaf in the wind. There we have a body. Oh. And this arm coming in from here. Divine alignment. These faces look photographic. I don't know if they are, but they sure look photographic. Okay, I'm going to go back to this one and look. This one definitely looks like an artistically imagined face, though it could be an actual face. But these look absolutely photographic. That is a unique face. Antechamber of apathy. It's supposed to be apathy, I assume. A-P-A-T-H-Y, but it's apathy. A-P-A-T-H-Y. This is A-P-H-A-T-Y. Apathy. Antechamber of apathy. Okay, that's making me giggle inside. That is clearly not a photographic face, but look at just the detail. So beautiful. Cradled by the Sky. So we have this same person that was like a leaf in the wind. And it looks like the same person all the way through. A couple different faces, but the hair and everything. Architect of the Unseen. I cannot wait to get into a reading with this. Black silk armor. The ribbon around the wrist and the ankle. The artwork is stunning. I want these on my wall. Cathedral in the Woods. Twilight Nocturne. Dark, dark, and more dark. I love it so much. Ballroom of Echoes. Wow. Look at the faces. Look at that. Sadness and misery. Floating in the storm. Pardon me. I'm left speechless by the images. Perpetual Particulars. I love the titles. You know, you can spend time, like some of the titles of these, you just can sit and sort of ruminate on them, and it's interesting. What would be perpetual particulars? I mean, I would think it would be getting lost in the details of something, or always just looking at the, particulars and pick, and you unable to let that go, maybe. Diving toward the heavens. Reflections of artifice. What's artifice? It's a mask. Guiding stars, zenith. Twilight debutante. Look at the hair all the way up and over. I just love it. Imposing impediment. There's those eyebrowy faces again, those kind of... Wow, same thing as a couple cards ago. Covenant of regret. Oh! Dang. And here's those faces again. Wastelands, absolution. Return to abundant shores. It's like we have a variety of characters that keep reappearing. Return to abundant shores. There's some hope coming out the other side. Mystified innuendo. Stirrings of a welcome wind. Solace in the secluded garden. Not like a fairy tale. And portrait of a seeker. All right. Be right back. Okay, let's give it a cleanse. I'm really excited that it is a small deck, because it means there's not going to be a lot of fluff, and I am anticipating, although I shouldn't project, I am anticipating some concise messages here. So, by fire and air, I can't talk today. By fire and air, may you be purified and charged. And by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And my guides, my guardians, my allies and ancestors, you are with me all the time, and I do not take that for granted. Therefore, I invite you wholeheartedly to be here, to connect with the images and the words in this deck, and to bring forth messages that are wonderful and useful to my viewers. Let's have a, oops, I already put too much wet there. Let's give it a bell cleanse. I hope you didn't have earphones on, sorry. I don't want to tear your ears off. And then the fire of Azrael to bring the spirit of divination into the deck and into this space. Let's give it a shuffle. Again, nice to have a small deck. Ooh, wonderful. No problem at all. All right. So we want to ask, what do we need to know right now? What does anyone watching this video, anyone that has experienced loneliness, and I am shooting this in December, which is a time that is absolutely ripe for people feeling depressed and lonely. Not only in the Northern Hemisphere is it because of the lack of light, but holiday times can take us into grief, into memories of times past, into that lonely, depressed thing, because we are comparing it to how we should be feeling. So what message do we have? Let me look at the book again. I didn't see any card spreads suggested. Let's go to the end of the English section. Yeah, it just ends with the last card. How to use this deck. Let's see. A reading begins with a question. A useful question in any situation is, what should I know for my greatest and highest good? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go with 3 cards, and we will see. Begin each morning by pulling a single card and considering its message. At the end of the day, reflect on how the card manifested in your life. When you become more familiar with the deck, you will find it easier to ask more specific questions, pulling cards as the need arises. You may also find it useful to meditate on the image and allow it to speak to your own heart. Your own powers of intuition will lead you to new meanings that are not contained within this guidebook. The lonely soul must always learn to find their own insights from all they encounter. Yes, that is true. So, what do you have to say to us? We've got 2, so let's go with those 2, and we'll take the 3rd off the top. So we have like a leaf in the wind, we have reflections of artifice, and architect of the unseen. Now we get to see how the book goes. So, like a leaf in the wind. And so for each card we have in it italics a paragraph with quotations at the beginning, and then we have more of a description. So the quotation says, "The time has come to release the hands that hold her." So this is describing the image. With gratitude, she passes herself out of their care, hurtling into the wide unknown. So here's this hand. I'm letting go of that. And off you go. Throughout our lives, we are shaped by the attentions of others, and it is all too easy to linger overlong in the safety and security they promise us. The time comes at last for all of us to fly free and learn for ourselves what we are capable of. We say we need another handful of moments to be certain we are ready, but the hard truth is certainty never comes untested. Certainty never comes untested. If you know that just rang your bell. If you don't know that, it might not make sense to you. But whenever we get to that place of going, yep, this is it, a test comes up. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you know? And it either affirms what we know, or it means that, we need to look deeper. Mistakes will teach us nothing if we are not brave enough to make them. Dang, take a moment to find the fear within yourself. Name it if you can. This is wonderful writing. By acknowledging the fear, you can begin to release its hold on you and see the risks you face more clearly. Who put this here and why? How high could you go if no one had told you that you cannot fly? And then there's an ask yourself at the end. What is the dream worth falling for? What is the leap I can make today? So talking about letting go of your tethers, letting go of certainty. Certainty never comes untested. So are we willing to let go of our certainty in order to find something more? And mistakes don't teach us anything if we're not brave enough to make them. So it really is about pushing out from the shore and pushing away from the certainty and leaping into the unknown, and not just looking at, leaping and falling, but perhaps flying if we're not holding so tightly to the ground of certainty. Okay. The next one is Reflections of Artifice. The quotation, they hold up a twisted reflection before her, demanding that she see herself within. But though their iron gaze bores deeply into her spirit, she sees that they hold nothing that she desires. So artifice is illusion, you know. There are many who can only find comfort among others who seem to be exactly the same. So if the people around you are just reflecting back to you your masks, how deep are those relationships? Okay. They believe that they've attained perfection and disdain any who differ from their design, but they've deluded themselves with this foolish notion that there is only one path to paradise. Seek instead those who are unlike you, with some common ground. New stories will enrich your ears, new customs will delight your senses, and new skills will be awakened. Explore the pleasures of variation and experiment with new ways of being. This will teach you who you truly are, the soul that lies hidden beneath the surface of your reflection, and it will also allow your unique qualities to stand out. It can be painful to break free from the throng that you have always known. Jealousy may poison their words as they attempt to dissuade you. And people that will hold you back from your growth, ask yourself why they are invested in you remaining the same. It's because you are fulfilling a role in their little cosmos. And if you change, it's going to upset their confidence and sureness. Okay. But the true loving circle of souls who support your journey will adorn you only with blessings and words of encouragement. They will celebrate all the parts of you that bring you joy, no matter how those parts differ from their own. Hallelujah! Ask yourself, what have I never allowed myself to try? What routines do not serve me anymore? So do you see the similarity between these two? This is about letting go of certainty and allowing yourself to make mistakes and let yourself to be blown, by the wind. To take a risk of getting someplace new and different. This is talking about letting go of the people that kind of keep you comfortable and boxed in, and being willing to let those people go, and being willing to see the agenda behind any attempts to stop you. And sometimes those attempts are pretty vile, discouragement and people that want to dissuade you from growing. I remember, I think it was my manager's wife way back in my 20s, and she said something about those that are your true friends will always support your growth. For instance, like if somebody was going to leave a band and people are like, understandably, yeah, we don't want you to go, but they're going on to something better. People that are secure in themselves will say, go, go, go for it. I support you 100%. I'm going to miss you. I wish you'd stay, but go. I support that. I support your growth. Okay. Pardon me. Will I ever stop apologizing for that? Hardly. Okay. Architect of the unseen. She sends the image of her aspiration into the heavens. The heavens answer. This is magic. She's visualizing something. She's sending it off into spirit and letting your guides be the architect. There's more to this world than meets the eye. Upon this point, all mystics agree. With careful study and devoted practice, it's possible for mortal beings to learn to move the invisible mechanisms behind the universe to bend and shape their own fates. I love this writing. This moment is an opportunity to make use of your natural talents for manifestation. It's not an easy task, and we cannot all just close our eyes and wish things into existence, but the powers of creative visualization are immense, especially when coupled with a regular meditation practice. Amen to that. This card also poses the question, are you certain that you know what it is that you want in this situation? Close your eyes and pay a visit to the theater of your mind. Can you see yourself on stage having achieved your goal? Can you feel in your body what that would be like? This is so good. When you see this new version of yourself, can you believe it? The greatest obstacle to manifestation is our own doubt. Okay, Charles, dude, I want to know more about you. This writing is fabulous. It is to the point. Bang. Very clear and so very true. Be careful that you are not hidden, that you are not the hidden saboteur working against your own dreams. When you are clear, align your willpower and your actions with your vision and bring your vision into manifestation. Align your willpower and your actions, not just your thoughts. It's not the thought that counts. It's the action that counts as far as manifestation goes. As far as like gifting and stuff, it's actually the impact that counts, not the thought. Okay. Ask yourself, what do I wish for? What would I do with it if I got it? So, we have, are we willing to let ourselves be carried by the wind, to let go of our tethers, to see, explore and test how high we can go? Are we willing to let go of the people around us in order to fully blossom into who we truly are and not just reflections of the people that seem to accept us? You know, are we trading acceptance and the feeling of fitting in versus finding our true self, and with that comes a profound sense of belonging. When you belong to yourself, then you will really find the people that that true self belongs with. And then, are we willing to put our money where our mouth is, put our magic where our mouth is, and do the spell work to manifest this true self? So what a great message coming up on winter solstice to, as a little map, to go journeying into the dark in search of your true self, and a spell to bring that true self into manifestation. And, you know, maybe it's not your true self, maybe you already have that, but the current goal of the true self, the current desire of, here's what I want to manifest, here's what I want to do with my life and myself and my talents. Shut up, Charles Harrington, this guy, and I'm sad that we don't have, I'm going to the back of the book knowing I'm not going to find anything. But, we find little pages to write things on. These always kind of crack me up, because it's like, how far is that going to get you? You know, we got little 4 pages. Oh, yes, I'm going to take notes on all the readings I do with this deck. But, you know, nice thought. I wish there were more information on the writer and the artist. You know, beautiful work. And I'm looking to see, we don't have any information on them. You know, these very few pages of description for this deck. Don't tell me what I wanted. I mean, it's so wonderful to have a tool land in my hands that is so, what's the word I want? It's just economical, but the insides are bigger than the outsides. This small deck, so manageable, you know, so concise, and to have writing that points you in such a very specific direction, and a direction that isn't closed in. You know, so many of these sentences that I read are just, you could just focus on that one and just let it open up. You know, it's going to open up a lot for you. I'm also very impressed, and this is going to sound very misandrous. But I was kind of surprised with this writing. It is so sensitive, and it's wonderful to have a male author addressing this lonely and this very feminine deck. All of these images are female. So I guess I'm kind of surprised that the author is male, but my God, does he get it? And he's obviously strongly in touch with the divine feminine and with the inner workings, and I'm impressed. I'm so impressed with Charles Harrington. I will be doing more research on him. So this was a shorty because it's a short deck and there's not a lot of, it is refreshing when I'm putting a reading out and I'm not having to struggle. Does this fit? How do these fit? It's just like, here it is. Just wonderful. I'm so grateful to my patrons, and I'm so grateful. I did not put, usually I give them a poll every month and say, here are 2 decks, which one do you want me to pick? And, as I get more patrons, if I get to the point where I've got a lot of them, I'll put more than 2 options up. But this month I said, no, I'm not going to let you pick because I already know what deck I want. And it being a new one, people that are searching to see what this deck is like, get it. It's a good one. So thank you so much. If you like this, hit the like button. If you've not subscribed already and want to see more, please do that. The bell will let you know when I drop videos. And if you're new here, there is an unboxing playlist that has well over 300 videos on it. So there's a lot of content to dive into, and I am posting more mostly all the time. I am interested in your comments, what you think of this deck. Is this something you'd be interested in? It certainly is ringing the bell of someone who has walked that lonely path. I haven't felt loneliness in many, many, many years, because of my journey of going inside and finding my place of belonging within myself. And since I did that, since I arrived at that place, I don't feel lonely. But I'm Plutonian and I'm autistic. So alone is where I feel at home. And, anyhow, I highly, highly recommend this deck, and I would like to know what you think about it. Ow! All right, I will see you guys next time for an unboxing or a live stream, and until then, this is Luna. Thanks for hanging out. Blessed be.